She doesn't leave when she walks out. She leaves when the picture of you in her mind quietly changes from my man to my obligation. That shift happens weeks or months before the goodbye text. If you've felt her eyes go dull, if you've caught yourself begging for basic respect, if your gut already knew and you still argued with it, you're exactly who I'm talking to. This is the breakup psychology no one teaches men. Why she really leaves, how you accidentally help it along, and how to make sure you never have to crawl through this fire the same way again. Here's the truth I'm going to lay bare. Attraction is not a debate you can win with words. It's a score her nervous system keeps largely unconscious, based on 3 buckets: safety, status, and spark. When your signals in those buckets drop below a threshold for long enough, her brain flips phases: testing, detaching, replacing, exiting. You think the exit is an event, because that's when you find out it's not. It's a process governed by biology, psychology, and culture. You can rail against it, or you can learn the pattern and play a better game ethically, clearly, with your spine intact. This is not a hit piece on women. Women aren't a hive mind. These are human dynamics, with trends that show up often in heterosexual relationships because of average differences in how men and women are wired and socialized. Patterns, not destiny. If you can hold that nuance, you can use this as a map, not a weapon. Let's break the map open. Start with the primal brain. Across time, a woman's reproductive investment has been higher. Biologically, that tilts the female nervous system, on average, to prioritize cues of protection and provisioning safety and cues of competence and social proof status. Layer culture on top options, social media, a constant feed of comparison, and the margin for error gets thin. Add in the piece men chronically underestimate: spark, polarity, the felt difference that makes romance feel alive. When you turn your edge into eggshells, spark dies. No spark, and she can still care about you, just not as a lover. So, why does she leave? Because her internal scorecard safety, status, spark drops, and stays down. She doesn't call a press conference. She runs tests. The limbic brain wants to know, are you who you say you are under pressure? Do you make decisions and own them? Will you protect your boundaries and, by extension, hers? If the tests fail, detachment begins. Once detachment is in motion, logic and lectures can't reverse it. Only behavior can, and sometimes nothing can, because her decision hardened in silence while you were negotiating with words. The phases are predictable. First, disenchantment, micro-withdrawals, delayed texts, cooler touch, less play. The hidden scorecard starts filling. That's not a villain move. Everyone keeps one. On hers are moments you thought were small, when you promised change and defaulted, when your temper made her manage your mood, when your mission fell behind her moods and your own excuses. Each line item whispers, he's less safe, he's less steady, he's losing edge. Second, detachment, emotional outsourcing, more time with friends, work, therapy, hobbies, less with you. You'll hear the overwhelm script. I'm just so busy. I'm so tired. I need time for myself. Sometimes it's true. Sometimes it's camouflage for a nervous system that's already unplugging. Watch for the slow fade, fewer plans, more maybe never commits with just enough warmth to keep you docile. Some will deploy the emotional airbag, a harmless new friend, trainer, co-worker, classmate who supplies novelty and validation while she weans off the relationship. Is that always cheating? No. Is it a sign the exit story is being drafted? Often. Third, decision. She chooses a narrative that makes leaving feel justified and herself feel moral. We're different. I don't feel it. I need to find myself. Those lines aren't always lies, they're compressions. The score fell and didn't rebound. The narrative protects both of you from the complexity of that. Let's name the patterns that push the score down, so you can see them fast and never rationalize them again. The nice guy trap. Kindness isn't the problem, compliance is. You fused your backbone to her approval. You said yes to avoid friction, not because it aligned with your values. That begins the respect leak. Respect, not love, is the spine of attraction. Without it, she won't relax into your lead. You get polite affection at best, contempt at worst. The primal brain reads a man who won't protect his own boundaries as a man who can't protect anything when stakes rise. The compliment command, you're so understanding, feels good. If you're approval, hungry, you'll inflate understanding into self-erasure. That trains her consciously or not that your lines are suggestions. Healthy partners respect clean lines. Unhealthy dynamics exploit them. The antidote is simple and firm. Thank you. I am understanding. I also won't do X. Here's what works for me. Gratitude held alongside boundaries increases safety and spark simultaneously. The frame tax. Humans test what they rely on. A playful push on your plans. A tease. A last-minute change. These are fitness checks. Stay warm, decisive, and grounded. And the test turns into trust. Sulk, beg, explode, or over-justify. And you teach her she can move your center with a mood. If she can jerk your state around, she won't trust your leadership when a real storm hits. Desire drops. The chaos check. In relationships where insecurity runs high, drama gets used as a thermometer. She pokes to see if you'll hold. You don't punish, and you don't appease. You step outside the swirl. I care. I'm not doing a screaming match. We can talk when we're calm, or we can park it. That stance signals safety. It also filters out partners addicted to chaos as their baseline, the unpaid emotional debt. Apologies without change are IOUs the nervous system stops caching. You believed saying sorry was the fix. It isn't. Consistent behavior is. Chronic misalignment teaches her body to brace. Bracing kills softness. No softness. No sexuality. Attachment collisions fuel a lot of exits. Anxious avoidant pairings are everywhere. If you're avoidant and she's anxious, you withdrawing makes her protest. Her protest confirms your avoidant predictions. Eventually she flips to numbness, the relationship's death rattle. If you're anxious and she's avoidant, your pursuit overloads her system. She distances. You escalate with essays and grand gestures. She loses respect because you're no longer a mountain, you're a mirror. Neither attachment style is a sin. Unconsciousness about them is the problem. Conscious men learn their pattern and stop performing childhood wounds with adult partners. Status isn't Instagram. It's competence respected by your tribe. The social brain takes cues from community. Mate choice copying is real. People value what others visibly value. If you orbit her life, abandon your mission, and let your world shrink, you nuke your status cues. You think you're proving devotion. You're actually broadcasting scarcity. Scarcity smells like danger. Danger kills desire. Now add the modern environment. Dating apps, infinite scroll, comparison overload. The paradox of choice makes commitment feel risky, and intermittent reinforcement, like social media attention, trains the brain to chase novelty. If your relationship becomes a chronic stressor, cortisol drowns desire. The path of least resistance becomes away from you, toward anything that feels lighter. That doesn't make her evil. It makes her human in a hyper-stimulating world. Your job is not to out-dopamine a phone. Your job is to build a life that's richer than distraction and invite her into it while never abandoning it. Let's talk exits you'll recognize. The quiet quit. No blow-ups, just a long, low tide. She stops initiating, affection shrivels, sex becomes a negotiation or disappears. When you bring it up, she says, I don't know. She may not, the body decided. In many cases, you've been failing tests you didn't know you were taking. Leadership beats litigation here. Talk less, act more, plan, play, create tension. If she won't meet you, accept it and exit clean. The chaos exit. One minor issue becomes an excuse to torch the house. Why? It's easier to leave a fire than admit the slow death. Don't get trapped arguing scale. Respect the exit. Don't chase. The replacement exit. There's an overlap, emotional or physical. Does it mean she never cared? Not necessarily. It means she outsourced the courage to end things. You don't stick around to be plan B in your own life. You cut contact and rebuild your center. The self-protection exit. Your instability, anger, addiction, dishonesty, irresponsible finances made the relationship unsafe. She left to survive. Here, your work is not to strategize a comeback. It's to become a man who never repeats that harm with anyone. Now, the medicine. The part most men want, but skip the diagnosis and go straight to, tell me what to text. No, become the man whose presence writes the text for you. Mission first. A clear purpose is not a slogan, it's a calendar. It's sleep, training, craft, money, discipline, time with your people, and service to something beyond your ego. A man with a mission signals safety and status without bragging. He's not faking alpha, he's busy building. Heartbreak hits him, but it doesn't hollow him because his identity isn't rented from a relationship. Boundaries are love with edges. Learn to say no without theatre. I'm not okay with that. I won't be spoken to like that. That doesn't work for me. If you can't protect your own limits, you cannot be trusted with her vulnerability. Boundaries precede intimacy. They also screen out mismatches early, which saves both of you time and scars. Vetting beats fixing. In the first 90 days, watch more than you woo. Does she keep her word? Does she own mistakes? How does she treat people who can't help her? What's her relationship with truth? Does she default to contempt in conflict? Are you aligned on kids, money, sex, time, and values, not just chemistry? Chemistry without alignment is chaos with good lighting. If you spot non-negotiable red flags, chronic disrespect, deception, refusal to repair, do not negotiate your standards. Leave kindly and quickly. Maintain polarity. Polarity is difference plus trust. Keep your edge. Keep novelty. Lead with plans. Tease. Flirt. Take her into the world. Don't become roommates who occasionally kiss. When things get dull, don't blame her and don't beg. Create spark by being the spark. Decisive, playful, unpredictable in adventure, deeply predictable in character. Master conflict like a grown-up. Stop turning every tension into a courtroom. Use simple rules. No insults, no shouting, no threats of breakup as leverage. If voices rise, take a time out and schedule the conversation. Address process before content. I want to solve this, but not like this. Repair quickly. People who repair well build trust even after missteps. Do not negotiate attraction. When desire drops, address the reality, not just the narrative. Our intimacy matters to me. It's changed. I want to understand, and I want us to fix it together. If the answer is defensiveness and stonewalling with no effort to repair, accept that you're the only one rowing and set yourself free. You cannot argue someone into wanting you, but you can become someone it's harder to stop wanting by living a compelling life. If a breakup happens, run the no-contact protocol, not as punishment, as detox. 60 to 90 days minimum, longer if you're obsessive. Practical exceptions for kids and logistics only. In writing, brief and neutral. Delete threads. Remove reminders. Move your body hard daily. Lift heavy or run hard. Sweat, sunlight, protein, water, sleep. Fill your hours with competent stacking courses, craft, income-producing skills. Journal, an honest post-mortem. Where did you betray your standards? What did you tolerate? Where were you rigid when you should have been flexible? Where were you flexible where you should have been firm? Pain is expensive. Get your money's worth. Re-enter from fullness, not famine. Create social abundance ethically. Join communities. Train with people. Travel. Host. Learn. Express your standards early. Be generous with praise for what you like. Be quick to exit what you don't. No 3-strike rule for character. 1 strike for contempt, lying, or malicious manipulation is enough. You teach people how to treat you by what you allow and how fast you leave when they cross lines. Here's the line men fear. What if I do all this and she still leaves? Then she leaves. People are free. Your job isn't to build a cage. Your job is to build a life with gravity. A good partner orbits willingly. If she exits that gravity well, you don't collapse, you keep spinning because your center isn't outsourced to her choices. That's the life where heartbreak becomes a rite of passage instead of a permanent identity. If you're in the wobble right now and you're tempted to write a thesis via text, stop, put the phone down, breathe. Do the next right thing for your body and your mission. Make one clear invitation in the real world. If she leans in, lead. If she leans out, let her. Don't cling, don't perform, don't preach. Stand in your standards. Men who can stand, attract. Men who collapse, chase. Chasing kills whatever attraction remains. Let me give you a short field guide to common signals and the moves that conserve your dignity. If her language shifts from we to I and plans exclude you, don't launch a debate. Invite once, then observe. Invest where you're welcomed, not where you're tolerated. If sex dies and stays dead, and the only plan offered is excuses, don't beg. State the truth, propose solutions, assess effort. No effort, no relationship. If conflict becomes a weapon, and every conversation ends with you apologizing for existing, Stop playing defense. Call out the process, set terms for healthy dialogue, and walk if it's refused. If another man is suddenly central to her emotional life, you don't audition, you exit. Never compete for your own spot in your own life. I'll end with the piece you probably didn't hear growing up. You are allowed to have standards. You're allowed to want a woman who respects you, admires you, and desires you, and to require reciprocity as the price of admission to your life. You don't need to be perfect. You do need to be congruent. Say what you mean. Do what you say. Protect your peace. Pursue your mission. Lead with warmth. Laugh often. That's not a trick to keep a woman. That's the way a man lives, with or without her. Ironically, it's also what makes the right woman choose you and keep choosing you long after the honeymoon phase evaporates. Now, it's your turn. What sign did you miss until it was too late? Which pattern hit you like a freight train once you learned the name for it? The nice guy trap, the hidden scorecard, the slow fade, the replacement exit. What boundary do you wish you'd enforced on day one? Drop your story in the comments. Not to bash women, not to wallow so another man can spot the pattern faster, hold his frame sooner, and walk his path with fewer scars. We learn faster together. Tell the truth, and help build the community you wish you had the first time your heart broke.